Get that Wi-Fi together. Here we go again. You ready?
And sooner or later, her cookies get crushed.
One more time.
And sooner or later, her cookies get crushed.
An actual soundbite from your boy, Dr. Umar. You are the gift that keeps on giving. I ain't gonna talk too greasy because I'm confident. I have the utmost faith. This channel is also about building your faith. I have the utmost faith that Dr. Umar Johnson is a very violent man. I have no doubt that he will get violent with me upon first meeting me. But you know what? Don't worry about me and my transgressions. Yeah. Getting right to it. You know what? I was gonna leave it alone. I was gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic. But you know what? I'm sure some more content here. So I started this yesterday. So Princella, the Queenmaker, who is a god-level misandrist. So misandry is like the opposite of like misogyny, except it's everything that it says misogyny is. So misandry is mostly kind of pretty much like believing that for one that men are inferior, that men are not intelligent, men are not worthy of leadership, and that groups and communities and organizations should be led by women, right? And you kind of see misogyny kind of play out in the Black community a lot in terms of, you know, I think the best way I heard it phrase, shout out to Dr. T.S. Johnson, there's always this thing in terms of the interactions between Black women of them trying to show each other, even if they have a man, he ain't nobody, or I don't take him that serious, or don't worry, I got him under control type shit. I'm gonna keep telling the story, man. When my man said that he was gonna go visit some family, and the man in the house asked him if he want him to fix him a plate, and he says, "No, I'm good. My girl gonna get me a plate." And then the man of the house also said, "Oh yeah, nah, you know, like she don't play that you know, that fix and play shit." They said, "I'm like, nigga, what? That man ain't paying no bills, man. Shout out to him. That's a king right there. Listen, he's skating on by. Cause listen, those is the number one types of relationships that broke niggas be having. Some situation where this chick is talking to you crazy to the point where you trying to pussify other men. You don't realize how crazy you sound to other men who live like men. Anyway, but the Queenmaker recently was doxxed by B. Taylor. B. Taylor is also an influencer. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said before, I wasn't there for whatever went on between these two young ladies and whatnot. But what's crazy is they both got kids. Now, you see that Princella is a whole stud Keisha. Okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, like I said yesterday, them clothes going to start getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Bottle after bottle after bottle. You understand?
And sooner or later, her cookies get crushed.
Cookies are getting crushed. So anyway, so B. Taylor Doxter put out there, talked about how her daughter don't got no room. Now, mind you, this is somebody's mama. That's somebody's whole mama right here. So she talked about how B. Taylor put out there that, you know, she don't take good care of her daughter. You know what I'm saying? Her daughter's on the spectrum. I'm like, it's all, now that I'm thinking about it, these are all very deeply personal things. It's very personal. Like even if you are upset with her, I don't know if you should have brought the kids into it. But I'm gonna tell you something else. Maybe I can't decide what makes me believe, because I think what makes me believe B. Taylor is mostly the heart of her content. Okay, anyone and anything. Let me explain something to you. Make sure you can see me. Make sure it's so big. Anyone or anything who advocates against the Black family forming, You are a demon, beloved. That's demonic talk. Because you're basically you're stopping life. What happened in the last election is that it's not really enough of us for it to make a difference anymore. We can't sway votes like we can't sway elections like we used to. Well, I don't know if we ever did, but it's definitely not happening now because, like, yo, we don't have the numbers. All right. And not only that, we don't have enough families to even know which way to vote. Well, like, what is that based off of? But anywho, I know I'm taking a minute to get through it. We having a slow cook. Welcome to the Six Path TV. I'm sorry. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So we're going to get into this cook on Princella. So now Princella's been doxxed. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go into every single allegation. And she's coming back with a slightly different story. I feel like the people who did the interview, Real Life Productions, I don't know. No disrespect to these brothers. But,
Who are these niggas? I cried laughing when I you know what I'm like, we need to stay away from these niggas.
They always ask these questions as if they've never talked to other men before. And the way they interview her as if, like, to be real with you, if you're intelligent, if you have morals and whatnot, you can understand this person is just hustling. But you got to realize the reason why someone like Princella can be successful because she knows what black women want to hear. The reason why Shera Seva is successful is she knows what you want to hear. She knows the things that you believe in. She knows that you're like, yo, you have no love, no respect, and no faith in your man. That's what that content is based off of, to the point where, again, you believe in every negative stereotype, especially one about cheating. I'm like, that's not really a thing. What if that's your experience, that would mean this. You like those kind of men. Most men live righteously. If men didn't live righteous, then everyone watching this video would have at least 3 stories throughout your lifetime where a man that you didn't know punched you in your face, attacked you, robbed you, snatched your purse. You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, it's not a thing. That's one of the greatest lies ever told, is that men are not righteous. And one of her main teachings is, because again, her content is good for people who don't want to deal with the ramifications and the truth of what they've done, and who is looking for someone to tell them that whatever bad thing they did, or if they broke up their family, whatever it is justified. Why? Because no one matters more than you. All right. So anywho, I know MCR, shout out to MCR, man, fair use. I wanted to use this video because I know that he would get right to the good points. So let's go ahead and get to this. All right. So here we go. Hold on, make sure I got my sounds together and shit. Here we go. I always forget to not play that one. My bad, y'all. All right, let's go. Let's go, Prince.
And because women hate
by the masculine, then the masculine is wrong.
All because you're mad that I broke up with you and moved on with somebody else, and that I wasn't crying and showing signs of emotional instability. That's what all of that was about. And because women hate each other, see, that situation, by her doing that and me seeing the women rally, that opened my eyes to the wickedness of women.
There it is.
That is what opened my eyes to the wickedness of women. And I said, oh.
This is what men have been saying forever.
So women do
what I said they do.
Create stuff
out of thin air
and try to destroy a person's life.
Reputation destruction.
If you are seen as the stronger person,
the masculine,
women will weaponize their perceived weakness and play the victim. They throw rocks and hide their hand, and that because I had never done that. So I didn't realize that women ain't like me.
There it is.
I didn't realize that women were not like. Now
How could you not realize? How could you be doing all of this content and put it in front of women's eyes, talking about that men are not as intelligent, that men are this? You created that. Your inability, at least at that point, to understand the destructive nature of the irrationality of many women today deems you unfit to coach women. Flat out. And the reason for that is because you're missing a key component to make themselves a worthy option for a man. But see, at the end of the day, that's not your goal. Because as being a stud maker, why would you want the women to date men? You want.
At the end of the day, that's always going to be a stud's desire. All right. And what you see playing out is that it's funny. Princella, for the most part, let her thirst for one, your thirst to try to control your man, because I guarantee that your relationship didn't work out because you're trying to control your man. So you want to, when women think like that, you could become a victim of your own ego to the point where you will become that nigga. One way or the other, women try to become the man they want to be with, or the man they think they should be with, or some shit like that. To the point where you start again, this is somebody's mama. Hold on, let's check it out. I could not imagine my mother. And again, she looked nice, but I cannot imagine my mom. This is my mama. So for majority of your life, that would mean that you like niggas. You like niggas. Okay? It's not that they didn't, you know what I'm saying? Don't you know what I mean? Obviously, you like to sleep with men. There's some kind of psychological breakdown going on there, because that's a big switch up. All right, you're not true to the game. I'm just saying. But she let the same things that destroy men bring her down as well. You let your desire for another woman or to have women turn you into this whole character. And actually, it was funny. She's pretty much having the same experience. So some people feel like she's having the same experience men have, where someone that you loved or had love for and had a relationship where you are shocked and traumatized by their willingness to do a smear campaign on you, the willingness to drag your name through the mud. But at the same time, though, all that shit, like everything kind of added up. Because again, like I said before, there's an old video where Princella is rapping to the Lord Knows beat. That's the Rick Ross and Drake song from Take Care. And she keeps saying, "You a king to me. You a king to me." Now, this is a love note to black men, or to the black man in her life. Let me tell you something. People who could change up to that degree, bro, that would mean that you're insane. You got to be insane. She had the kente cloth head wrap and everything. The dress with no straps on top. I think the dress was kente too. So that means that this person, again, a lot of women, they go through phases, bro, and can become. The more someone can become a different person, we all become different people. But I think, again, you can't be some shit that you're not trying to be, and you can't get something that you're not trying to get. I say that because people, for the most part, and especially women, will wait. And they may not realize that they're waiting. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that they'll wait for things to work out. They'll just kind of say, my bad, yo.
Then shut the fuck up in 2020. Thank goodness you've had your surgery. Where is that to go? You don't even do nothing. You was washing tables. You was waiting.
They be waiting. So I mentioned that because I'm just saying women aren't really the best when it comes to effectively problem solving. For the most part, when it comes to solving most problems, most serious problems, it mostly involves calling a man. Okay, and that's for most people. Most people have to decide at what point, especially for men. Men have to be careful to realize I cannot manage the situation. It is time for me to defer to the leadership and the direction and you know what I'm saying, and professional of another man. You know what I'm saying? And that's important because you may ruin everything if you don't know when to go and get help. Because being a leader is also about making the best decisions for everyone and being able to think long term. You understand? But also, what Princella also exposed was that both of y'all need a man. She's never going to have a happy relationship because she can't lead herself and she can't lead another woman. She cannot emotionally regulate herself and she can't emotionally regulate another woman because y'all both are emotional. Okay. I'm gonna play a little more. Then we're gonna get into Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, Tasha K. Tasha Payne into the clip. Now I started this yesterday, and this whole thesis is about not even a thesis. I want to explore the kind of content creators that are able to come into especially the internet space, especially post Shera 7, and make this misandrous content that's always a big hit with the ladies, and none of it is real. A lot of these conversations are fairy tale. It's just situations where everything happens perfectly. And the reason why I don't like it is because I've been on both sides and I'm working on getting my bread back up. And it's like I don't hear no righteousness in none of this shit. I don't hear the game in none of this shit. All I hear is that that basically this is how I'm gonna live my perfect life. And we're not having a real conversation. Me, myself, I had to go through seemingly gaining it all and seemingly not. I can't say I even lost it all. I just been going through a transition. Life is always getting better. But you can't base everything off of one thing. You can't base your happiness solely off of your relationship. You can't base your happiness solely off of your economic situation. I think this morning I was chanting, I was praying, and I had to drop my head. I was like, damn, like, what if I couldn't go outside and get this nice ass car? Like more and more, I think about that. Over the last year, it was funny. When I first got that car, I hated that car. But over time, I think about like people's reaction. Well, even at my job, when people don't know like what I drive, even though it's a regular car, but it was cool. It's nice. You know what I mean? But I always get compliments on that car. Always. You know what I'm saying? And I was just thinking like, damn, like, what if I ain't had this? What if I ain't had that? You know what I'm saying? Paying my rent this month, being able to pay my rent, being able to, afford a parking spot. My nigga, listen. There's so many things to be grateful for, and we only getting better. But anywho, I'm sorry, I'm trailing off again. So I want to get into these seemingly these grifters who on the outside, it's more so like all of them provide their own little fantasy. Princella's fantasy that she sells to women is that you was right all along. All right. Basically, things didn't go right for you because of men. So if you stay away from men completely, all your problems will go away. And in theory, she'll be right. It'll seem like you're not having arguments, but that's because you're not with anyone. A woman's going to quarrel and have issues and fight with whoever she gets. It's just a thing women do. Women are going to always have smoke. But everything with women is internal. I heard Crimson Curl say this. And men got to understand that women are just not as, even when it comes to communication, women like to talk. It depends on who she's been around, where her communication is at. Even understanding your own emotions. Sometimes we don't always understand every emotion we have. We may not always know what we know. Because again, sometimes certain things are just too much. You understand? So anywho, I'm gonna let her talk a little more. Then we're gonna go ahead and move on to Miss Bryant.
The women to date you, but in regards to her comments regarding the wickedness of women, not all, but we've all as men seen some shit. But in regards to it, Jordan Peterson actually has spoken about it before.
Well, I'm sure that you've met women in your life that acted towards you in a bullying and detestable manner. It's very difficult for women to cope with that because they don't have any real recourse. And female bullying can be unbelievably vicious. And usually that takes the shape of reputation destruction, innuendo, and gossip. It's well documented. It's very difficult to defend. No, men do it too, but men, no. But
disproportionately women, in any view, or not? Sorry.
Yes, disproportionately women. That's what the data indicate. I mean, if
Well,
men
where
are...
is the data on innuendo and gossip?
Well, it's among antisocial behavior among adolescents. It's a well-documented field. So because people look at aggressive and antisocial behavior in women and in men. And in women, it tends to take the expression of innuendo, gossip, and reputation destruction. And in men, it tends to take the form of outright physical aggression. There's a whole literature on that. It's not a surprise to anyone. This has been known for 30 years. Look, women have to express aggression somehow unless you're willing to say that they're not aggressive. They tend not to do it physically, not to the degree men do, so they use other channels. And what other channels are there other than physical aggression if you're going to be aggressive? You go after them with innuendo and gossip and reputation destruction. And that's how it works.
And just to be clear, that you think that's predominantly a female modus operandi?
It isn't that I think that.
Well,
It's that the clinical literature indicates that. It isn't that I think it.
I'm not interviewing the clinical literature, I'm interviewing you. What do you think?
Well, I'm a psychologist and a scientist, and I tend to base my opinions on what I've read in the broad, relevant clinical literature. I'm not making this stuff up. I studied antisocial behavior for like 15 years. I'm actually quite an expert on it.
It would serve women better when they can understand not only their own nature, but the nature of other women around them, so they can ensure that they're not getting in an echo chamber long enough to reach their end goal. Let's continue.
Experienced a lot of the same things that women was experiencing at the hands of men.
Right. But you never.
So, nature. It doesn't matter, and I get it. She may really feel like y'all. She want to be with women, but she's never going to be happy. Even the concept, that concept ain't no happy concept. That concept, for one, is based off the idea that you know that this is the poison that they want you to sell them. This is what they want to hear. They want to hear that they was right. They want to hear that they don't want to hear about the real work you have to do. Because again, none of this content is about being a better person. That's why I hate when these kind of people are compared to Kevin Samuels, because don't get me wrong, the ninja made content. And for one, these kind of content creators really helped Black people to really grow in terms of our maturity and understand that, how you think is not cool. Like, for example, Black people always have this thing about not agreeing completely or letting someone know that I don't agree with you completely. Well, I don't agree with everything you said, rather than just speaking to, I agree with this point, or I thought this was interesting, and just keep it on this basically keep the conversation positive. Because on some level, like if someone walks away with, I don't agree with everything you say, that's really them. They're not able to really challenge you on what it is. They know they can't challenge you on it. They just saying what they saying is that I don't like that you say that and whatnot. But sometimes we gotta hear certain shit. We can't live a life like that where someone just is always telling us what they think that we want to hear, or someone's not brave enough to have an honest conversation with us about shit. Is those the kind of people you want to be around? That's the kind of life you want to live. You gotta decide for yourself what kind of life you want to have. That's why her content is bad. Well, all this Miss Sanders content is bad because it doesn't help women have a good life. All right. So anyway, that's 20 minutes on that already. Let's go ahead and move on to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Tasha K came clipped up, and she clipped her the fuck. I ain't gonna lie. Fair use. If we're gonna go through it, we're gonna try to have it clipped up. She emptied the clip